I appreciate everybody being here and showing up. Sorry we were a couple minutes late. Tony was really talking in the staff meeting and that kind of made us go for a while. I wanted to once again thank everybody, but I wanted to say something before I introduce the mayor here. He contacted us before we came in yesterday and said, I need some new material. And I said, okay, Mayor. It's like he's done so many announcements over the last little bit that he said, I got to get some new information going. And that's a great problem to have in Denison. And so we ought to be really happy with what's been going on and everything that's been occurring. And the city's got a lot to look forward to in the future. Having said that, I am going to go ahead and introduce the mayor, our friend, and Mr. Team Denison, Jared Johnson.
Thank you all for being here. It's another exciting day in Denison, Texas, as we're here to celebrate success. And this success looks a little different, as they normally do, as we've successfully recruited an industry that's not only industrial, but it also has a retail component and a tourism component. And I'm not going to go through my stump speech that we've been doing at the last several press conferences to talk about all the success, but I do want to remind us of tourism, because sometimes we forget about Denison as a tourist destination. With our birthplace, our downtown, our viticulture school at the college, the World Aerobatics Championships that will be here next month, and fishing tournaments, and you name it, we're doing it in Denison because of the work that our chamber's doing, and other folks here in Denison as we recruit people to our area just to spend the day or spend the weekend. And the results of their efforts, the fruits of their labor, has been in that hotel motel tax. So the last 5 years, it's up from $142,000 to $361,000 a year. That's over $200,000 a year that Denison has to put back into things that will put heads in beds. And again, Anna, I want to thank you and your team, sitting on Shelley Cassell's here from your board, and for the efforts y'all are making in that. So that brings me to talk about our exciting announcement today, as we're celebrating this unique opportunity, this unique business in Denison. What makes this even more exciting is that these two gentlemen next to me are young professionals. 6 years ago, Team Denison decided that we wanted to have a young professionals group in Denison. And that's unique for a community our size. Typically, young professional groups are in the big metropolitan areas. You won't see a town of 20,000 trying to do it on their own. And we didn't want to be a Dallas YPG. We wanted to be simply a place that other young professionals could get to know one another, could simply support one another, let each other know as we recruit others into the area that we're here with you, that we chose Denison for these reasons, whether it's someone like me who's a homer and been here most of my life, or someone that's new to the area. We just want to let you know that we have a diverse group of young professionals that have chosen Denison as a place to live. These two guys have been involved with that group since really they got here. And again, it's just an opportunity for that demographic to network. So really excited about their success. Robert is a graduate of Boston College with a degree in economics and Asian studies, and got his law degree from St. Louis University. And his brother Jonathan has a degree from Texas Tech in industrial engineering, and got his master's degree in biomedical engineering from St. Louis University. So they're going to talk more about their project. I really don't know what those advanced degrees have anything to do with underground bootlegging. I'm sure they will let us know. Chief of Police is not here today, and that's by design. So whatever you guys need to do, we've got that covered. But really excited that you're here, and looking forward to the opportunity to get to know you all better and help your business grow. And when I drive by it every day, because it's in my neighborhood, I see the progress being made on that corner, and think about the tourists that will be coming there, and the other folks locally will be able to benefit from that. So with that, I'll turn it over to Robert and Jonathan Licorice from IronRoot Republic.
Before we kind of get into what it is that we're doing and all the craziness that we're about to unfold in the community, I'd like to give a few words of thanks. One of the first things we were told when we were investigating this industry was by a distillery who said, you really need to find one person that really believes in what you're doing to become a success. It wasn't until he was able to find that one person that truly believed in what he was doing that he was able to become successful. We are absurdly blessed to be in this community. From the day we've walked in, we've been welcomed with open arms from a multitude of people. And if that's any sign of the things that come, we're going to do very, very well here. So we want to first of all, thank Robert Panna, Faye Brockett, Jared Johnson, Mr. Chris Spiegel, Robert Grady, John Wida, and Dale Jackson, and everyone else from the city of Denison. We'd also like to especially thank Tony Kai and Scott Smathers for putting up with our incessant phone calls, late night and early morning emails, and all the craziness that went into putting this project together. As I know, we've changed names from Red River Republic to IronRoot Republic. We've changed locations 3 or 4 times over the course of this. It has really been a crazy process to get to where we are. And then we'd also really like to thank Robert Crawley and Kelly Muller from American Bacon, Texas. They were willing to take a chance on us, where very, very few banks were even willing to come to talk to us about your distilling, you're hyped with alcohol, whether, no. And they were really willing to sit down and go, that is a crazy idea, and we love it. And so to them, we really want to extend our thanks to them. And also, we have to thank our mom who's sitting here in the audience. She's has been pretty amazing throughout this entire process, and has even become a whiskey drinker through this entire process. Full support. All right, so what is it that we will be doing? We are going to be an artisan distillery. What does that mean? We will be making a multitude of products from several types of whiskey, several types of brandies, which we'll be making hopefully from the Munson grape varietals, which are only grown right here in this area. We're hoping to do several types of gins using the local juniper that's grown in the area, some vodka, and some other really crazy, strange products that we hope you guys learn to love as much as we have. I think a few of you have already learned to love it. So, the philosophy of an artisan distillery is what we call farm to flask. It's very similar to what you see in a lot of these new restaurants that are opening up that are really pushing the local livestock for the meats, local vegetables, local fruits. That's the same thing for us. We want to start from local grains and take it all the way to the end of the process. This is very rare in our industry. Many distilleries take either pre-made product and do something to change it, or they just purely are glorified bottlers. But we truly believe in the artistic value of being able to start with a project and finish it. So we will be one of the few that actually does this project, and we'll be doing it right here in Denison. So, turn it over.
You can probably imagine that we get asked quite a few questions when we tell people that we're going to start a distillery. And one of the ones we get asked quite often is why Denison? And so I could tell you about, Lake Texoma and all the tourism that goes to the casinos, and that'll all be true. I could tell you about the outstanding viniculture program you guys have here. That also would be true. But the real reason is actually the people that we chose to be here with. Robert had his background here at Austin College, and he loved it here, and he's kind of transposed that idea onto the rest of the family. So we all love it here now too. And one of his good friends from college, Marilyn Bice, recommended that we look at Denison, because we looked all over Texas. From down in Corsicana, out where I went to school up in Lubbock area, and everywhere, and finally settled here, and it just has to do with the people here. Robert said it, thanks to all the people, Tony Kai from DDA, Scott Smathers, DDA, the mayor, Jared Johnson, Mr. Brady's helping us on a project already today. It's the people here that really made us decide that Denison was the place to be. Denison, for lack of a better term, has it going on. This is going to be kind of a premier place, premier location to be in the state of Texas in the near future, and we're excited to be a part of that. Another question we get asked is why do we pick the location in an old boat center off the highway? First and foremost, there's a liquor store out front, and when we started this, we couldn't say but there's other good things about it. We have good highway visibility and access, and plus there's enough concrete out there that we can have outstanding events. So some of the things we're going to be looking at doing is having barbecue competitions, Oktoberfest with chili cook-off type ideas. Somebody's throwing out the idea of car shows out there. We're really looking forward to making this a place where the community can come, gather, have a lot of fun, and make Denison, this area, might be a little bad. So make this a place where the people of Denison want to come and gather and make it a tourist destination as well. Just to give you a little bit of idea of experience, I think Jared already told you a little bit of our background. It would be nice to say that we're fifth generation moonshiners. That's not true. Maybe fifth generation drinkers of liquor. That might be true. But we, like you said, I'm an engineer. Robert can go through, and tell you all about being a lawyer and how much I dislike it. But I'll let him continue on that.
So, we didn't just say jump out of school. I didn't jump out of law school and go, you know what, I'm going to start making alcohol today and just start doing it. We actually went through a process of visiting and doing training all across the United States in taste. And taste, we did lots of taste. So we actually started out, when we first got the idea actually to do this entire project was about 3 years ago at a family reunion up in Spokane, Washington. We visited a small distillery called Dry Fly Distilling. And that's where we actually went back to do our first training. We actually went up there and worked for a period of time with them. And then we decided, well, we want to come back to Texas and see what's going on in Texas. And in Texas, we are actually lucky enough to have probably right now the best distiller in the United States or even in the world as far as craft whiskeys. And he's actually in Waco, Texas. And as a true Texan, he welcomed us in and has been extremely helpful throughout the entire process, and it's thanks to him is another big reason that we're going to do as well as we think we're going to do. So, we also did some training in Chicago as well. So the last question we get asked is, well, when are you guys going to be open? And so we're under construction right now. You guys can drive up to the boat center any day of the week and see there's a lot of construction going on up there. Making building on a boiler room and all sorts of fun stuff for the building up there. And so we expect the construction to be done and all the stills put together by the end of the year. And so by this spring we'll have all of our liquors, or at least some of our liquors, available on the store shelves. So we will also at that time will be opened up for tours, and we'll be doing our cocktail bar. So we will have a specialty cocktail bar. Inspired by the local area, we'll be doing some classic cocktails as well as some crazy cocktails, made with some of our more unique stuff up at the distillery, which people will be able to come up to on weekdays and weekends and come watch us sweat and work hard as they sit back and enjoy a few drinks. So, and then, as Jonathan said, that time we'll also be starting the process of putting together large events that occur at the distillery. We'd really like to, as part of the events, to actually bring in some of the artists and some of the local restaurants and stuff to have booths and stuff up at the distillery when we're having these large events, so that we don't just showcase us, but the entire community when we have these events. So I think we're going to go through a few slides here just to kind of show you where we're at right now. So that's actually the building as it stands currently. Eventually we'll have signage on the top of it, and you'll be able to see the giant shiny stills on the inside of the building. That's one of the bright shiny stills actually as it was standing in Germany. It stands when at full height is about 17 feet tall. This is still actually currently sitting at the distillery waiting to be installed. We have another still from Kentucky that's made by the same people who do Jim Beam and Jack Daniel's stills, and it will be twice the size of the still. It'll also be a traditional Scotch style still, and it will be 19 foot tall and hold 1,000 gallons worth of liquor. Just a lot of liquor.
So that's 500 gallons still?
Yeah, that was the 500 gallons. This is also another shot of the 500 gallons still.
It's the one in the center.
So this is actually the company that makes this is a famous still maker out of Germany, and our still was actually their centerpiece at the largest trade show in Europe this year. So, as picture of it up there at the all together with the big trade show.
These are some of the products that we're looking at doing right now, and these are the bottles that we had designed specifically for us. So nobody else will have a bottle like that. And these are the first 3 products that we're hoping to put out are going to be the vodka and then 2 flavors of gin. Right now we've got some names on there that we're hoping that we'll be using for them. That's Ghost Town Vodka in the blue, Wildfire Gin in the red. We figured that one's going to be a little bit spicier. I like to put gin in my Bloody Mary, and there's quite a few people out there that do, and we're thinking a little heat might help us out a little. And then a Texas Drought Gin, that's kind of more of a London dry style gin. It'll be more geared towards people who are drinking gin and tonic type drinks.
We'll also be releasing another product at the very beginning that's actually kind of a secret project that we're working on right now that we've, I know a few of you have experienced already, and we've actually been working in conjunction with the local brewer, 903 Brewers, allowing him to use some of our product to create some really cool beers that actually were really, really popular at this year's Untapped Festival in Dallas. So, you guys have any other questions for us up here? Any questions about the bootlegging industry? All right. Thank you very much. Mr. President.
Yeah, I look forward to the tasting. May of 2012 was the first conversation we had with the licorices concerning this project. If my math is right, I had Scott check it, so if it's wrong, it's his fault. That's 16 months ago. That seems like a long time, but there's a lot of moving parts when a project this size. And we're just real proud that they chose Denison. I agree with everything they said about Denison, of course. And I think it is, I think this project kind of demonstrates the direction that we're headed. And I think it's a very positive direction. And this project really goes hand in hand with what they're doing at the college, the Viticulture Center. I'm not going to say too much, Jared, but just a little bit. Not a lot of people know they even have a viticulture center, an enology and a viticulture program out there. You know, if we can add distilling and brewing to that program, it can really, really, really grow. So, along with what the licorices are doing and what they're doing in Sherman, the 504, whatever it is, brewery. And we've entertained several brewers here too. So, you know, it's a new industry that creates a lot of excitement, especially for the younger generation. It brings Denison even more of a destination spot, which fills up our hotels, which fills up our restaurants, which creates revenue for us, and that's what we're all about. This is, like they said, one of the few distilleries in Texas. Well, I guess I should qualify that, one of the few legal distilleries in Texas. You know, our friends to the north of us are known for, well, never mind. And also, they've filled up the only vacant building we have on our 75 corridor, which is very, very important. As you know, a lot of empty buildings on highway is busy at 75. So they've taken care of that for us. And like they said, there's always a lot of people to thank in this process. Robert Crawley, I think he came in on Crawley time. Yeah, there he is. Those of you know Robert know what Crawley time means. I thank American Bank for all they've done. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the board, DDA board, because you know they have to approve these incentives and these programs as we go along, and they work very hard, and the pay's not very good. So we thank them for their efforts. Also, the staff, I think we by far have the best staff, economic development staff, which we're going to go down to 2 shortly. Mr. Smathers decided to go north, and we wish him all the luck in the world. He did a great job for us. So we look forward to spring. You know, that four bottles to 1 offer still stands. So. Thank you very much. We're glad to have you guys.